Climate changes are a fact, and this past decade showed us how serious consequences it can cause. The global temperature continues to rise over the last century, causing ice sheets to decrease and glaciers to retreat all over the world, causing the sea levels to rise and putting people and their settlements in danger. Severe weather conditions became a norm and are a concerning threat every time they appear. Everything that the nature created over the millions of years is now being used and exploited by humans faster than ever before, without giving the nature a chance to restore. As recycling becomes more popular and new renewable energy sources are becoming widely available, we all wonder what else we can do to save our planet. Well, it is as simple as switching to plant-based diet. I actually did my first research on this matter about 10 years ago, and I have been a vegetarian ever since, excluding a time when I was pregnant because my body was demanding meat and I just couldn't help it. Food consumption has a major impact on greenhouse gas production. Greenhouse gases are responsible for raising the global temperature as they work as a magnifying glass when the sun is shining over our planet. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, livestock and dairy production represents 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emission, which is nearly the same amount as the emissions from the transportation sector altogether. Yes, all the cars, planes, ships, trains, and other fuel-based vehicles. Well, let's look at the chart over here that shows us the amount of gases emitted per 4 ounces of serving by food type. As we can see, beef production produces the highest amount of greenhouse gases, so cutting back on red meat might have the biggest impact. To compare, on the other side of the scale, we see that vegetable production greenhouse gas emission is close to 0. Meat production not only causes increased greenhouse gas emission, but it also negatively impacts our environment on many different levels. According to Climate Nexus portal, due to high meat demand, animal farms need space to accommodate over 70 billion of animals. The same source states that livestock sector is linked to 75% of deforestation of Brazilian Amazon forest, which is also known as the lungs of the earth that turn harmful carbon dioxide into fresh air. All of those animals need to eat, so about 40% of global crop calories are used as livestock feed. This is associated with the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides that cause soil erosion, pollute water, and are causing further damage to the ecosystem. Animal agriculture drains global freshwater supplies. Western US rivers are being overused to water the crops, where a third of all consumed water goes to irrigate crops, not for human consumption, but they are used to feed beef and dairy cattle. According to National Geographic, How Beef Eaters in Cities Are Draining Rivers in the American West by Alejandra Burunda, 50% of water coming from Colorado River goes to animal agriculture. Unfortunately, the environmental damages mentioned are just a small portion of all the consequences caused by extensive animal farming. However, we can decrease the number of animals being farmed by creating less demand for meat and dairy products. Of course, we cannot end it completely, as it generates places of employment and it is important for the economy, but we can certainly limit it. Now, let's ask ourselves a question. What stops us from switching to plant-based diet? Well, the main argument is that people are made to eat meat. And another one is that, we need meat to maintain a good health, or we need meat because we'll be hungry if we don't eat it. However, looking at our history, meat was in our diets. But it was not until the industrialization era, about 100 years ago, when commercial animal farming allowed to produce meat to such extent. According to PETA article, Are Humans Supposed to Eat Meat? Looking at the diet of our ancestors, we are mostly vegetarian, and in the past they ate meat sporadically. And their main source of energy were plants, roots, nuts, vegetables. Today, on the other hand, we serve meat with almost every meal, which may cause protein overtake or insufficient intake of other important nutrients. Secondly, we lack all of the features of carnivores that are characteristic to predators in the animal world. Our teeth are small and flat, and our nails are short and soft. Moreover, our digestive system doesn't like meat, as humans' intestinal tracts are much longer, like those of plant eaters. We also cannot eat raw meat, as our stomach does not produce enough acids and enzymes that will kill the dangerous bacteria and break it down. In fact, humans have much weaker stomach acids that are similar to those found in animals who eat fruits and vegetables. Humans can suffer of increased risk of developing cardiovascular diseases due to their consumption of saturated fat and cholesterol found in meat. Lastly, the source of protein is not relevant to our body. Whether it comes from meat or plants, if we can make a choice to save our planet, let's go for veggies. In conclusion, we're certainly concerned with our planet and how human activity causes damage to its ecosystem. Besides coming up with new technologies to care for our environment, we can also take small steps ourselves by simply changing our diet habits. Switching to plant-based diet would not only cut greenhouse gas emission into half, ensuring healthy environment for us and our future generations, but it is more beneficial for your health. So I encourage you to start by taking small action and introduce meatless Mondays into your weekly routine and gradually implement more plant-based meals into your diet. Thank you.